Hello everybody, this is toysareruss, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Doctor Who fire ladder figure. Now in this video I'm just going to concentrate on him. The review for Crane Hook will be separately uploaded, so you've got the choice to see that one if you want to as well. So I'm going to be unboxing them live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to have a detailed look at them in both of their modes. We're going to see how they compare with the original Generation 1 figure, and indeed, funnily enough, with another version of this figure that has already been released by this company, and of course some other figures to do comparisons with, just to give you a full idea on the size of these. Now, to be completely honest, I have no idea why they are a grey mold limited. I don't ever remember them being, you know, maybe in the Dead universe or something like that, because like we've had the Optimus Prime version, etc., as you'll see when we open this up here, they are literally just grey. Now, whether it's for test pieces, I've no idea. So if you do know, please do let me know in the comments. So this one is Fire Ladder, and this is a third-party company take on an Inferno figure. Now, if you're wondering why it's called Fire Ladder and not Inferno, it's because Doctor Who make figures that transform, and for that reason Hasbro and Takara don't license these products. So for that, that's why they have to come up with different names. So you can see, in fact, I'll get Crane Hook out just to give you an idea, I suppose, of the size of these compared to the original G1 figures. So there you go. I know they both pretty much share the same mold, but I just want to show you that there. So these are what's basically, I suppose, known as the Micromaster size figures. So these scale really well with mainline Titans figures, and indeed the really old Takara World's Smallest Transformers, which you can see there that they do look and go really well with them particular figures. In honesty, it's just nice to have, I suppose, a little bit of a desk, but it's a bit of fun. But to give you an idea of just how small they are, there's an Earthrise Micromaster. So these are in the same sort of size, but they're much more articulate and indeed intricate. There's a Generation 1 Bumblebee, which has probably never felt so big in his entire life. With regards to mainline figures, there is Deluxe with the JP Jeep. Here's one of your more standard deluxe size figures. So again, you can really tell now just how small they are, even compared to, you know, some figures which are aimed at younger viewers, like your Earthspark One Step Flip Changer Bumblebee. He is tiny, but what's make these good is they're just fun. That's the only thing I can say about it. So this is, of course, the alternate mode, which is, of course, your fire engine. You've got articulation on this. It will spin around. That will fold away. And the transformation process, because I've already loaded a separate tutorial video and I'm just going to go from one mode into the other, I'm going to show you on here. So this is incredibly similar to the original, and indeed they take a couple of little things from the Earthrise, like the feet here, bending this down then folding it back. That reminds me, I know it's Kingdom for Inferno, isn't it? It was Earthrise for Grapple, whereas this part here, bringing the arms around, this is of course Generation 1. We're just going to tab that little hook into there, bring this down, same principle on this side, bring this down, rotate the fist around, and you can see there's ball and socket joints on these little guys. So it's just really good, as I say, a lot of fun. And the head collapses up and over. Funny enough, let's spin that round, fold that in, again very similar to your G1-esque figures. So I've just got to lift this away from there like so. That'll fold back as well, and you can see it just cascades all over itself. Let's turn the head around to the correct side, and that will clip into position right there. I can move these forwards and I can bring them out as well. Interesting colour scheme. As I say, I don't really think the grey works. I got them because I really like these figures, and as I always say, I really hope it gives Hasbro or Takara the incentive to go back to using and making the world's smallest Transformers. This again is one of theirs, which is fun for the time, but it's 20 years old. Whereas if you compare it to, you know, the Doctor Who versions now, which we've got, they're just more articulate and more detailed, and I suppose exactly that. There's 20 years worth of engineering changes with these. Right, let's quickly just move these out of the way and just show you the articulation. So the head will look up and down ever so slightly, but you can see it is sort of fixed on there. You've got ball and socket joints on the shoulders, so that means they can go all the way around as long as you're not getting them caught on them bits there. You can do the full, no, you can't do a full T. You can nearly do a T. You can do a swivel at the bicep, a bicep flexion. There is no waist swivel, but there's ball and socket hips. There's a knee bend, and you've got an ankle tilt and rock. And again, all on a figure that is still nowhere near as big as a Generation 1 Bumblebee. So again, very, very small, very articulate, and as I do keep saying, such a lot of fun. So there's Lunar Tread from, of course, the Guardian pack, and again, that gives you an idea, I suppose, of the scale, of the size. With regards to one final main comparison, in fact, I'll do a load of comparisons for you. So there is the original G1. So of course we've got to bring in G1 Prime. He's absolutely tiny. A few other figures then, so sticking with mainline as in Hasbro and Takara releases, there is a core Dinobot. This is the mini con that came with Hotshot, just a teensy little bit smaller. There's your core Prime, which again is huge compared to that. If you collect Legends scale figures, so these don't really scale with Legends figures. They only, as I say, scale with the Micromaster ones, or indeed figures by themselves. And indeed, as I say, with Titans. They scale amazing with Titans, because we've got New Age, Iron Factory, and Magic Square there. And then funnily enough, there again, there's a little Doctor Wu figure. So these are what they scale best with, that you can make, and they work brilliantly, I suppose, just with normal, like your Void, like your Commander class, Skylinks, etc. There's loads of little options and little things that you can do to make, I suppose, the main release figures that little bit better as well. But to be honest, there's not really much more to say about him. It is just very simply, I've nearly forgot this, there's a little bit more to say, but it is just a plain grey deco of the mold that they've used for Inferno already. These are the two accessories. One, of course, will be for grapple, which is that one, and this is the hose adapter nozzle, which is for this one. What you've got to do is slide this over the hand. It goes one particular way. Once I've found it, it is a little fiddly. It just goes the one way on. Let's have a look. And then when it goes in, it just clicks into place. So you can see, funnily enough, typically right at the very end, I've gone and struggled. There we go. Oh, no, it isn't. I'm putting the simplest of little things on. Let me see why I can't get this on. I'm totally ruining the video at the end. Ah, there you go. You heard that snap on. And again, I suppose that is just to replicate exactly what you could do with the original, with the nozzle on the end. There you go, guys. That is all there is to say about these fun little figures. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take care.